Nobody tells you how hard it is having a new ESL friend in the group. You're always having to teach them new words. Like, we'll just be having a conversation, and all of a sudden, she's like, "What's midget? What's kink? Or worst of all, what's fisting?" And the context for all these is actually pretty innocent. She wasn't just talking to Cassius about midgets. It came up during Cards Against Humanity, and kinks was when I was talking about smoothing out the kinks at work, and double fisting for double fisting 2 drinks at the Christmas party. So what's up with all the pedestrian fatalities lately? Like walking on the sidewalk now, that's like an extreme sport. I have a grocery store a block away from my place, and I'm scared to walk there because I have to cross the street twice. And it's horrible. Like my parents, they brought us here when I was 5, and they wanted a better life for us, and they just wanted me to walk to no frills without looking up from the phone. So much for that dream. But yeah, I'm pretty nervous to be performing here tonight. It's called Crosswalk comedy. Am I gonna get run over? But why is jaywalking still a crime? Like, if you're willing to jaywalk in Calgary, you're willing to risk it all. Just let natural selection take its course at that point. Why fine people? Growing up, I would visit my relatives in China, and whenever I went there, I was just confused at how different the traffic rules were there, as in they didn't have any. Like, I vividly remember my aunt driving us somewhere once, and she couldn't find parking, so she parked the car on the sidewalk, which is one solution to the problem. And then when we came back to Canada, I was always amazed at being back to a functioning society where there were traffic rules. Well, those were the days. And now that I've been to Japan recently, coming back to Calgary and driving, I'm like, who are these animals on the road? Like, people are not letting in the lane, and people are speeding 20 kilometers per hour over the limit at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and of course, pedestrian bowling, like it's an Olympic sport. I'm starting to think that it's a North America issue, though. Because look at New York, their trucks don't even stop for airplanes. Well, so I was in Japan recently, and it was a great time. The worst part was the flight, and WestJet, I always call it worst jet, which at the time of writing that joke, it was the worst jet. Look, don't come at me. It's not my fault that Japanese air traffic controllers have a better work-life balance than Americans. Thanks, Trump. Yeah, so Japan is peak civilization, like everybody says. Growing up, I didn't know a lot of Japanese people, and I just knew everyone was obsessed with their culture, and I didn't like how the Japanese people I met, they always acted like they're better than us. And now that I've been there and seen it all myself, and noticed the complete lack of fat Chinese guys with their bellies hanging out on the street, I was like, you know what, maybe they just are better than us. I'll give them that. But identity crisis aside, we had a great time. We had a lot of good food and drinks there, and I was catching up with my mom when I got back and showing her pictures. And she was looking at my pictures, and she would just say the same thing to every picture. She's like, monkeys? We have that in China. Temples? You bet we have that in China. The language, they stole that shit from us. We have that in China. I was like, chill out, Mom. It's not a competition. I get it, though. World War II was pretty bad. I don't know if you guys learned about it in history class, but the worst part is the Japanese government denies that anything ever happened. So I'm not a fan of all that. The only ethnic cleansing I'll partake in is making butter chicken so spicy it cleanses my bowels for 2 weeks. Thank you very much, everybody.
Right there.